Hello everybody, welcome to Flock Talk. Today we are doing Roll for Enrichment. Newt is going to roll the dice decide what enrichment activity we are going to do today, so let's get going. Okay, handsome, you think you can roll some dice for me? Thank you, sir. Okay, so let's get rolling. We got to pick our categories first, which are toys, food, purchase, or social. So we're going to give him the four-sided die. Oops, sorry, let's move that under you. Here we go. Is that a roll? Good boy. That was a big walnut. So he picked a 1, and a 1 there is going to be toys. So now in the toys categories, he's going to have to roll the four-sided dice again, which is going to cover DIY, new, whether I have to rotate toys or whether I have to take some broken pieces and recycle an entirely brand new toy for him. So when he's done his walnut there, get him to roll it. Good boy. Oh, nice. He got the 3. I feel like he always rolls once. So the 3 is rotate. So now in the rotate category, we're going to have him roll. We're going to use the D12. I used the D20 last time, and it was just a little big for him. So we're going to have him roll the D12 for whether an odd or an even number, for if this is rotating the toys in the cages, or rotating the toys in the room. Yes, good boy. So that is an 8, which is an even number. So that means that we're going to be rotating the toys inside the room. Next, what we're going to have to do is roll for the number of pieces moved in the room, as well as roll for the amount of time spent moving. So I'd say I definitely have at least 20 toys in there. So we'll go with the D20 for rolling for the number of toys that I have to move in that room. See if you can get a good grip on that. Good boy. So that is a 19. I have to move 19 different toys in that room. And now we have to decide how much time I have to be able to move those toys around. So this is going to determine whether or not I'm just grabbing and moving, or if I'm kind of redecorating a bit more, putting a bit more thought into things, or maybe combining some toys and mixing things up. So I have the percentile dice here, which goes in 10s all the way up to 90. So this is going to be like the amount of minutes that we have to redecorate things here. Good boy. 60. That's pretty good. So I get a full hour to move, what was it, 19 toys around the room. That seems doable. We can have a bit of fun with that. Come up with some creative places to put toys that we haven't put toys before. I think that could work. Let's go give it a try. Mister, we're done rolling the dice. We're all done rolling the dice. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I think the easiest way to do this is I'm just going to set a 1-hour timer on my phone. That's going to go ahead and keep track of the amount of time I have to knock 19 toys around in this room. But let's get going. Let's hit start on this timer here. And let's move 19 toys. We're already in. I'm allowed to move things. It's okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, buddy. 9, I don't know if you can see this one, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, one more, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Done. And that only took 5 minutes, so I have an hour to play around, maybe move a couple other things. And we will make sure that we are fully utilizing that hour towards enrichment. Otherwise, what's the point? So my main goal is I want to put things in drastically different places, maybe places that I've never put a toy before. Because normally I just pick them up and I'll just move them, you know, close to where they kind of were, but just I seem to rotate the same 12 spots over and over again. And I was kind of thinking I actually hang stuff off the doors. And it can only go on the door, because if I were to put it over here, the second I slide this over, it's going to stop me from being able to shut the door. I apparently only have 1 hook left. Will this go on there? Cool. What else do we want to put up here? I guess I'll need string for all of them, hey? Take the ones that already have longer strings, and I can just kind of thread it through and then hook it to itself. It's not really much different than hanging toys on the inside of a cage off the bars, so I don't see why this wouldn't work. 48 minutes. These don't count. These are normally little stuffable bits that I stick in bowls, but I think we're just gonna hide a couple in here. Ooh, I have an idea. Let me go get some toy parts. I have this whole thing of finger traps, but they're all in these really neon colors. I usually get these ones that are white in the color, but they ended up coming in these neon colors the last time I ordered, and it just puts me off using them in a toy because I don't like it very much. But I'm thinking I might be able to condense it and stab it through the mesh, and then I can stick pellets in the end of the finger trap and just have a big wall of foraging. So let's see if I can make that happen. All right, I think that'll work. Okay, this is working a little better than I thought it was going to. I think a bird is gonna try and stand on that, and it'll definitely be Toto, and then Toto will plummet to the floor. I mean, the dude can fly, but like a law of nature when it comes to birds is that the bulk of the mess somehow exits the enclosure. When you're forced to spend an hour doing something that normally takes 5 minutes, you come up with new things and you end up with stuff like this. I really hope they like it. So that was 15 minutes for 2 toy parts. Birds are being super cute. So let's try and make this net fun. I feel like every time I do it, the toys always hang down underneath it like this one does. And then they don't get used very much or they just get pooped on. So I'm gonna try and set it up so the toys are more on the front of it, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna actually decide to use some of these bigger toys this time. Whenever I make the bigger toys, I always have them free hanging, but, because I designed them to kind of be hung and swing. But I think since I never put them over here, it might be a good time to do it and see what happens. Pineapple was one of the ones that was given to me by Planet Pleasures, and it's easily become one of my most used toys as I stick their medium-sized pellets inside all these little loops. And it just holds everything so nicely. Birds are gonna have a blast just grabbing that thing and throwing it. Oh, I have an idea. For those of you who don't know much about Quaker parrots, which is what Toto is, Quaker parrots are the only parrot species, I believe, that actually make their own nests. So most parrots are cavity nesters. They will go and they will find a abandoned, like hollowed out tree, and they'll just kind of hunker down in there. But Quakers will actually collect sticks and twigs and they'll build these very large nesting structures. And it's not used exclusively as a breeding site like it is for most other parrot species. For Quakers, it's like a community. They literally build like an apartment building that has multiple entrances, multiple little nesting zones on the inside, and several families can live inside this humongous nest that they've made. So for Quakers, you can give them sticks and twigs and nesting materials like that as an enrichment activity because it doesn't always trigger a hormonal response from them since they build these nests as a community and as like an enrichment thing more than they do to have babies and find their mate and all that stuff. So you can supply them with sticks to make their nests, and that is a fun enrichment activity for them that isn't necessarily going to trigger any bad negative things. So all of these little sticks are sticks that were on the trees in my bird room that Toto actually broke off and chewed off, and then he walks around with them and he wiggles his beak. He sucks at it. He's not good at nest building, but he tries. Okay, we support him and his efforts, and that's a way to mix up the net that I've never done before. I realize now that this has been visible the whole time, and I just want you to know it's nothing to be worried about. This is just a cardiac event monitor, which is just a test that my doctor wants done to make sure that my heart is functioning the way that it does. I've had a heart condition for the last 10 years. It's nothing new, it's nothing scary, but it's just routine, making sure that it's not getting worse or nothing funky weird is happening. So totally nothing to worry about it. Don't panic. It's normal for me. It's fine. So the last half hour or so, we will spend doing whatever toys are left on the floor, trying to keep in mind that I want things to be different, trying to change things up. I'm not just doing a toy rotation, I'm doing a toy rotation with the intent of it being super abnormal to how I usually do it. I found another stick. 13 toys left on the ground, half an hour left. What is the point if you can't see them being adorable? Why just toy? I know, there's no food in there. I'm really sorry to disappoint. I don't know how much it'll get used there, but I can honestly say I've never put it there. Hang this one up higher, and we'll stick this one up against a wall, which I don't think I've ever done. And then the forager's kind of hidden behind the seagrass mat a little bit, adds a little bit of challenge. It might not be quite as easy to get into. That's a little heavy for that branch. And we'll put it up here. There we go. We've got the perfect little like hook spot here. Oh, I said I wanted to use that. See, this little zone is just so bland, and I just kind of leave it because I'm not happy with the way that it is. But I'm not ready to commit to cutting this rope yet. So I think we're gonna leave the weirdness of this rope, but we're gonna add some toys there. Hopefully we've got some foragers left. Yeah, that one has no functional easy way to hang it up, so it's just gonna get stuffed in. I wish that there were like bars under here that I could hang these from. So I guess we're just gonna hang it off this hook instead then. We've got this guy. That could kind of hold it up if I'm able to attach those. I think that's a little better. It's still not great, but it's a little better. 23 minutes. Okay, so I really want them to start using this space. Ow! I really want them to use this space a bit more. I feel like it's been here for years. I even had this sort of set up in the previous bird room, and they just did not use it. Where did that ball go? Randomly stick this ball here. Oh man, there's more toys over here still. I think we'll put one kind of here. And then maybe what I can do is loop it back through itself. There we go. Okay, that holds. I really love using this branch for enrichment because it's got so many really skinny branches and some really, really thick spots. So it's super good at exercising their feet. So we'll make sure to hang a toy up in there. And it also has their cuddle bone hanging out. I think we've only got the one toy left. These guys are taking advantage of all the snacks that have fallen out. And then that green ball I took off. So I just have two more left to put up. And we have 20 minutes left still. There you go. I'll already check out the new places and we're not even done. Okay, so I'm thinking I always hang stuff on the higher end of this. So we're gonna put some a little lower. Take this guy. This is my favorite part of toy rotations, is it's not even done. And we didn't even move that toy, but all of a sudden it's new and exciting just because the rest of the room changed. This green ball is the last thing, and it came from this tree, so it can't go back on this tree. You know what? I recently took their bathtub down because I'm going to replace it with something else, so it can just go here. I've never put it there. They might be interested in it, and I can put pellets in it, and then they can throw it on the floor, which I'm sure will be the highlight of their day. All of these little bits I usually put straight in these bowls, and then they throw them out. But today, we will put them over here. Get rid of that feather. We can make a little foraging mat situation over here. Okay, so I have 15 minutes left. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some toy parts, and I'm going to use the crinkle paper and stuff, and I'm just going to stuff the crinkle paper into these and some of these guys and just kind of add a bit more to the enrichment that's already here. Not even joking, this has been a really nice experience. Usually whenever I'm doing the toy rotations, it's just like the quick 5-minute activity. I'm not putting that much thought into it. I'm kind of just grabbing some toys, quickly throwing them into a new spot, trading places with another toy, and nothing else is really going into it. But with this and being forced to take an hour to do it, it's making me think a bit more about how I can change things. I'm able to just kind of be calm and relaxed while I'm doing it. Not so just like quick, get it done and over with. It's kind of a lot more enjoyable. Oh my god, we're finally at the end of this crinkle paper bag. I've had this crinkle paper for probably about 6 or 7 years. I know it's not food. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. Still got 10 more minutes, so I'm gonna grab a few more toy parts. I've got these little soul of wood chips, so we'll pop these in some fun places. There you go. You want a wood chip? You want a wood chip? 2, 1. All right. So that will do it for me here today. I really, really, really love using toy rotations. There's such an easy way to get your birds excited with their space again without having to spend any money on new enrichment. all you're doing is moving the existing toys into a different location in the room. This was super fun. I'm really glad with the way that it turned out and the way that I was able to slow down and enjoy spending the entire hour actually trying to find ways to move the toys in a way that would take an hour to do. And I ended up coming up with some new things that I've never done before. So I really enjoy the way that this one worked out in the end. But that'll do it for me here today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.